Welcome to the theory of evolution. Evolution does not cover the beginning of the universe. That's the Big Bang Theory. Evolution does not cover the formation of stars and planets. That's cosmology. Evolution does not even cover the beginnings of life. That's abiogenesis. The theory of evolution is an explanation of specifically how life diversifies over time. Nothing more, nothing less. Before we begin, we should clarify some terminology. The word theory is frequently a point of confusion for those discussing this topic. Many don't understand that in science, theory holds a different meaning than in everyday usage. In common speech, a theory is an unproven idea. Ironically, in science, the word holds a meaning that's almost the complete opposite from common usage. A scientific theory is basically all the knowledge we have about a phenomenon, like gravity or atomic particles. To clarify, within this topic there are two separate things: evolution and the theory of evolution. It's actually a lot like the concept of a map. We have the geographical region on the surface of the planet that we've named Florida, for example. The map of Florida is all the data we've learned about this geographic area, and is a separate thing from the physical terrain. When a person says that evolution is just a theory, just remember that it makes as much sense as to say that Florida is just a map. The DNA combination process from the parents is not perfect. Evolution is an iterative cycle, from reproduction to survival to reproduction again. In the first step, we start with a group of a particular species. Members within this group reproduce with one another, resulting in the next generation. The DNA combination process from the parents is not perfect. The result of this imperfection is random mutation, an effect that is actually required for evolution to work. Let's pause for a moment and clarify the meaning of the word mutation. In everyday speech, one tends to think of a mutant, a horribly deformed creature. Thanks to science fiction or other TV shows, most people think mutations are generally bad and detrimental. In evolution, this isn't necessarily the case. Rather, the word mutation simply means a change in the DNA, whether good, bad, or benign. In a way, all living creatures are mutants because all our traits were mutations at one time or another. The second step to evolution is survival. In short, some mutations will make it more difficult for a creature to survive, and others will make it easier. For instance, a brown rabbit in a snowy area will be more likely to be spotted by predators than white rabbits. The next step in the iterative cycle is reproduction. The key within the evolutionary cycle is that the life form must survive to reproduction. If the life form doesn't manage to reproduce, it doesn't pass its genes to the next generation. Detrimental traits are weeded out and beneficial traits are amplified. Speciation frequently occurs when a group splits up and moves their separate ways. One part may stay behind while the other ventures off, or vice versa. Sometimes it's a geographic split, such as continents splitting and drifting apart. Sometimes it's simple migration. After enough generations without any intermediate interbreeding, the DNA of the two groups may eventually become incompatible, at which point a new species is born. That's the evolutionary cycle, a gradual, iterative change over generations. It's a process that adapts the line of descent to an environment, even as the environment changes. They only diverge and diversify with tweaks to the structure, with bigger differences emerging as one compares two creatures further apart on the evolutionary tree. Evolution in this way is the origin of species.